Patchwork of laughter sewn in time, a spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square, buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses line so neat, friendship's quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time, a spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square, buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses line so neat, friendship's quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time, a spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Our life.
Stitch by stitch they weave the tale, a patchwork life where laughs prevail. Patterns clash, but who can tell? Quilted chaos suits us well. Stephen and Walter live on air, threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings, life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound, sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around, it's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air, threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings, life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound, sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around, it's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air, threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings, life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound, sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around, it's a show where joy is bound. Pins and needles, jokes abound, sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm just checking the monitor to make sure that everybody can see and hear us.
Should be you push the button.
Yeah, I know. Just waiting to see this comes up. Everything's
Okay.
green here. Well, you have to wait because
Yeah, I know.
there's the delay, right? It's always a problem. Okay, so we should see.
There we go.
Hello, everybody. Oh, okay, good. That's working. All right, that's good to know. Okay, we are good to go. get this thing off our screen. The wonderful world of Mac computers. Yeah. Okay, so welcome everybody. Let's see who we got joining us today. Well, right off number one was Barb Olson. And she was here at about 7 o'clock this morning. She said she couldn't
it's
sleep.
5 a.m. her place.
Yeah, her time. So, yeah, well, I saw her pop on at about 7. Russ is on her heels as well. Nina is here from North Carolina. And Charlotte's here. Faith is here. Dubrovka and Al are here. Joanna is here as well. Happy March, she says. That's right. Today's March the 1st, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep. And Caroline is here. And Inez is here. And Mona and Glenna from Chile O'Fallon, Missouri. And Judy is here as well. And Karen B. And Suzanne. And Barbara. The other Barb. Heather is here. Cheryl is here. Charlie is here. No, haven't been here in a while. No, long time no see. And let's see, that just popped at the top. Karen Lyles is here from Vancouver, USA. Sherry Cook. And Crocus Photographer is here as well. It's Kathy. Yeah, Kathy in cool, sunny Regina, Saskatchewan.
Yeah, it's -8 here, which is about
Balmy.
almost, it's 17.5 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's balmy. Shorts and t-shirt weather.
Well,
Sandals.
Yeah. It's a bit chilly today.
Oh, you're such a puppy. Really. But anyways, well, welcome everybody. I'm sure a few other people will be joining us as time goes on. So let's see. What have I got to show you? I do have something to show you. Let's get it on the screen. There we go. Okay, so this mishmash of blocks, that is the Healing Waters panel quilt that I'm working on, that I'm testing my pattern on as well. So I didn't get that far this week. I got most of those blocks done on the sew day on Wednesday, and I haven't really done too much more on it. I have some other blocks or some of the half square triangle pieces laid out for sewing, which is my plan possibly tomorrow and up until Wednesday. And yeah, so it's coming along. We'll see. It's going to be a busy quilt. But anyways, I'm just laying the blocks out like this so I can see how many I have, because it's a lot of blocks. Anyways, so that, and oops, I don't want to show you that yet. And that's about all I've got to show you that I've been working on. I've got another project I started today as well on the embroidery machine, but we'll talk about that at another time. I'm not that far with it. And how you coming with your shirt?
I haven't worked on it.
Oh.
I still have a collar to put on, and I still have buttons to put on. So I will get to it this week, I know for sure.
Well, he's been busy, as you know, if you saw So Chatty this week. He's busy fooling around with Lucey and doing some free motion quilting. We'll come back to that in a moment or two. But let's talk about what's coming up. Sewing with me on Wednesdays, as per usual. You know the drill. Down in the show notes is the link. So what did we have last week? Well, I tried something new on Monday. My Monday morning coffee with Stephen, I decided to do it as a live because you have asked for it as a live, so I thought I'd give it a try. It was a little strange doing a live, well, doing a live by myself. I mean, I could have taken the computer upstairs to the bedroom and you could have been there snoring away as I did it. That would be unusual for that, but I didn't do that. But anyways, people said they kind of liked it and thought I should do them again. So I think what I'm going to try is on the last Monday of every month, I will do my Monday morning coffee as a live. And we'll see how that works out. The problem with doing a live for Monday morning coffee is I have to make sure that I have what I'm going to do that day is suitable for lives. Because, you know, I put a lot of different video clips and things in to my usual Monday morning coffees. but I can't really do that if I do it live. I could, but what's the point? It's supposed to be live, and those wouldn't be live. So yeah, but we'll try it again. So whenever the first or the last Monday of March is, that's when the next one will be up. On the Idiot Quilter this week, I did have a video showing you, as part of the ongoing, showing you my process for things, the in the hoop fabric making from scraps. I showed you how that all works out. And I talked about the pros and the cons of doing something like that. You know, the pros are you use up your scraps and you create your own fabric, which are good for bags or table runners. The con to that is that they're not really suitable, I don't think, for doing as a quilt. And I explained that in the video. So if you haven't seen the latest Idiot Quilter, check it out because it's all there about doing that kind of thing. And let's see. On So Chatty this week, we did the next part of Walter working with Lucey and doing his free motion quilting. And he's been going down after I go to bed at night to play around with it, so I can show you his latest efforts and you can see if there's an improvement or not. He worked on this last night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was doing this last night, and actually I think it's looking better than what you did before. So he's
getting a little bit more used to the machine.
Yeah.
It's still not coming out the way I want it. My circles are not round.
Yeah, but I kind of like the randomness of them, except I don't like where you've crossed threads.
No, I know that.
But that's something that comes with practice.
Yeah, I get flustered when I'm doing sometimes. And I've done a combination of using the stitch regulator, and sometimes I have it without the stitch regulator on.
So which do you prefer?
The machine moves a little better with the stitch regulator on, but
With it on.
It moves better without it on.
Oh, okay.
And it feels like it drags a bit with it on. So I'm doing sort of like a little bit of both, and that's sometimes where I end up crossing threads when the stitch regulator is not on, because I get flustered because it's still sewing.
Well, he went out this afternoon and came home with a couple of flat sheets?
Yeah.
To put on here. That was Faith's suggestion.
Yeah.
With that. And so yeah, after you get finished this one,
yeah, we'll try
you
some
can graduate up to the flat sheets.
It's going to take a little bit of practice, that's for sure.
Well, it does. Well, good for you. I don't have the patience. So it almost looked like up here in this one corner, you were almost doing bubbles or pebbles.
Yeah, I was trying to.
I think there's been an improvement just in the little time you've been doing it.
Yeah.
You go across it a bit.
Well, if you look at that was last night's. I haven't gotten it so that I can do it for hours on end. So I've done a little bit at a time. Last night wasn't working. I was in one of those moods where I thought, I better stop this. So I'll try it again maybe tonight and stuff like that, and keep going. I want to look at some other patterns that I can maybe try that are a little easy or whatever, just to get the hang of using the machine.
Yeah, now we did have a couple of books that were put out by Tracy of Whirls and Swirls she's our APQS dealer and everything. You've heard us talk about Tracy before, and she's a fantastic free motion quilter. And she has all these exercises and books and everything with it. And I bought the 2 books some time ago, never really used them. He wanted them. We can't find them. I don't know where they've gone or what we did with them. We didn't throw them out. I'm sure
we didn't, because I wouldn't. That's one of those things that I wouldn't throw out. So.
I still suspect that you have them.
I don't think so.
Buried in your room somewhere up there in the black hole of Calcutta. But I don't know, because I looked every place down in here, and I mean, I would only keep them in one or two spots at the most, and they're not there. And I checked I checked spots that I would never in 1,000 years have put them in, but I checked anyways. And then I got thinking this morning, did I lend those books to somebody? But I don't know
I don't know
anybody
who you would lend
yeah,
them
who I'd
to,
lend
so.
them to. So no, I don't know where they are.
I'm gonna have a better look around in my room, so I'll have to pull things apart.
Well, that'll look different. Not.
But you know, it's I would have thought that I put them in my bookshelf, and I've cleaned up that bookshelf already, and there's a chance there may be a box of books out in the tool shed but I don't think it's in there. I think it's just old books in there.
Well, anyways, we'll hunt for more. We can always buy them again.
Yeah, I mean they're not that
expensive.
So
I think they were like $22 a piece.
$22 a piece.
Two of them. So,
and if we find them afterwards, then too bad, we'll have double.
yeah, we'll have double set. You can have yours, and I'll have mine. And I'll never look at mine, and you can look at yours. But anyways, that's the trials and tribulations of learning how to free motion quilt. Sort of. I don't have the patience. That's why I have the computer, and I had already set the quilt path up. Back a long time ago to do those grids you see on there, and so I put another couple of rows of grids on him for this morning, so he can work his way through that. And I basted that quilt down there too.
Okay.
So you'll notice that under the belly bar, it looks like it's pulling up, and that's just because it's wound around.
Okay,
It'll just unwind it and do it. So let's see. Anybody else join us here? Judy from Southern Michigan is here, and Jan is here, and Arta is here as well from hot San Diego. Yeah, rub it in. Branka is here, and Shadowwind is here. Judy Vanderbroek is here as well. Barb says, Walter, does it feel like Lucey wants to move faster than you do?
No, not really, because I tend to move pretty fast. The problem is I don't think fast enough that's why I end up crossing lines because I try to go as fast as the machine wants to go. So
well, you see, that's why you took the stitch regulator off.
Yeah.
Well, the machine isn't it really. The stitch regulator is there to make your stitches all about the same length because to compensate for because you know when you're doing it you do speed up and slow down.
Yeah.
But Maryland is here. I'll bet you wouldn't even notice those crossover bits. It was colored fabric. Yeah, that's what I said. I said, right now it's really stark. It's just a solid piece of white fabric. If this was on a quilt, it would hide a lot of the
but the problem is if I put it on a quilt, I can't really see the stitching as well.
No.
So that's why I've got it the way it is. I need to get the motion.
Yeah.
Right.
Get your motion in there, yeah. Joanna says, I think it's looking good for the first time. Yeah, I think it's okay for the first time. You know, it'll get better.
I think it's something you just got to keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and then until it all of a sudden clicks. So
now you're kind of making me want to try again. Not that I'm competitive much. Kim is here. Hi, Kim. We just had a 30-minute snowstorm. Now nothing. Yeah, we haven't had any snow for a couple of days.
Well,
actually, we had a little this morning. Just it happened in the night. There was a dusting.
Yeah. Welcome to our world. We've been having that all winter.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but she's in the East Coast. They get it like more than we do. So, Kim also says it's not crossing lines. Is not crossing lines standard for machine quilting? I've heard this before, but I see patterns that cross lines. Well, it depends on who you talk to. When I first got into this, I was told that you wanted to avoid crossing lines as much as you possibly could. However, there are some designs where you can't avoid that too. So
yeah, there are some designs that include crossing lines. Like, like there's one that you do that's sort of a modern one that's boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah, that crosses lines.
And you go across lines. So yeah, it really depends on the pattern you're using. The one that I'm using right now, the one that I'm trying to use right now, doesn't have any crossing lines.
No. But the other thing about crossing lines is, you're supposed to figure out your pathway. and so that it doesn't cross, and where you're going to start. Know your beginning point and your ending point, and then you're supposed to, and this came from Tracy. We took a course, actually a couple of day course with her, and she's offering again. He was talking about possibly taking it again. And she talked about know where you're going to start, know where you're going to end, and figure out how you're going to get there. Sort of plan out your route in your head, or take a piece of paper, a sketchbook or something, and draw it out on your sketchbook and go over it so you build up some muscle memory with it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I really should do that. I tried doing that on a sketch before, but by the time I go down to the machine, I've forgotten what I've done.
Yeah, and actually, I'm too impatient for that. I want to be right on the machine, not in a book, doing it.
So
but,
yeah, it'll come.
Yeah. Sue's here. Hi, Stu. She's running late because of self-induced technical problems. Okay. And Dubrovka's saying the same thing. First time looks pretty good. Linda's here from Connecticut, and Deluxe Pam from Minnesota is here. Marina's here. I just finished free motion quilting a little quilt, and I've named it Practice Makes Perfect, but when? Yeah. I admire anybody that can do it. That, you know, who and I really admire their patience and the time they have spent trying to do it. You just don't get, you're just not good at it. Nobody is.
I guess what happens is you go to a quilt show and you see these beautiful quilts that people have done, and you think to yourself, oh, I'd like to do that. But then it's going to take time to get there.
Yeah, probably years. But and Diana is here. Hi, Diana. And Judy is here as well. So yeah, he's been busy at that. So I'm documenting his progress along the way. So we do need, though, some ideas for So Chatty as well. We need ideas all the time for everything. But for So Chatty, if there's something you would like us to show, and since our new direction, it's not a new direction, it's going back to our roots. If you want to see something that we can show the process that we go through with it, then let us know what that would be, and we'll see what we can put together for that. It's going to be the same old for a few weeks as he's working on this free motion quilting. So, you know, we've done two videos, but now we're at that stage where, you know, it'll be more of an update every now and then as he gets going with it, and I'm more with that. I mean, I've got a cheater cloth too. So the next thing is maybe when you get a little bit more confident using the cheater cloth, because it has blocks on it, but they're not real blocks. But then you can figure out if you see a block and, well, maybe my design should go this way or that way or whatever. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, actually, Tracy has a few courses like that I can get on that. I think they're actually a video course.
Oh, yeah?
Right? That says, here's a block. What should you do for filler?
Oh, are those online?
Yeah, I think so.
Does she charge for those? Or
yeah, they're not free.
Oh. Well, with Tracy, though, you would know you're getting quality
stuff.
Well,
that's just it. Like, I know I'd be confident buying one of those because she knows what she's doing. But I wouldn't mind even just going into the shop and talking to her about it. About, you know, what, if she can give me some pointers as to what designs to start with or something like that.
Well, I'm sure she could.
Yeah.
Well, we can send her an email.
We can go over there someday.
Yeah.
And buy those books.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we could go over there next week or something one day and talk to her about that and get those books from her if she's got them there still in stock. She probably does. And say to her, maybe see if we can rent her out at one day or something, set up with her and that, because that would probably be a good thing, a little hands-on. I don't know so much about doing that course. We did it before. It's going to be the same old with it, and I think it would be better to work with her on an individual basis more. So let's see. Maureen says, I've just finished. Oh, no, I read that. Catching up. Inez thinks you're doing good. And Crocus says, yeah, it's a journey. And this is, if Walter organized a while ago, shouldn't be hard. if Walter, well, it
It's
shouldn't
only
be
half organized. Good luck with that.
Yeah, no. Remember, he still feels that floor space is just more storage area. So with that,
No, I mean all my books. I took all my books off the bookshelf and put them in boxes out in the garage and put them all back in the bookshelf, except for a few that I ended up discarding. Well, I wouldn't have discarded those books because I went through all of them.
yeah, I know. But
And
did you say there's some out in the shed?
there are some, but I don't think there were. I don't think I saw those books on my bookshelf when I was packing stuff up.
But then again, okay. Well, the other thing too is you were saying to me that you thought they were spiral bound.
Yeah.
I don't think they are.
Oh, they are.
I think they're only this thick.
Okay,
And
I'll have to
so-
look a little bit closer on my bookshelf and stuff.
So I think you should look out in the.
Yeah.
I looked on your bookshelf
Yeah.
when you're out shopping yesterday. I took a flashlight.
Well, you
and I
didn't
went
find
through it.
that one that I found today.
No, I wasn't looking for that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got another one like that too, but those are for domestic machines.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, they still have the same patterns on it.
Well, yeah, and in fact, I looked at the one that I've got up there on the shelf, and it's not very good. It's just a whole lot of pictures and it's not much of instruction. But anyways, this is something to look into and to work with. Okay. Oh, Jen's here. Hi, Jen. So that's what Walter's been up to. And we need ideas, as I said. Okay, so I guess you heard about Puerto Vallarta, right? Who didn't? You know, with the cartel and all that stuff that's going on there. Well, this past weekend, we were supposed to have a sew day with Walter's Sew Group and with Brendan. And Brendan is in Puerto Vallarta, or was at that
Actually,
point.
it was in Puerto Vallarta, and he was supposed to fly home the day that the bombings and everything happened.
Like the violence also.
The violence all
broke out.
occurred, and they closed the airport, so you couldn't get out of Puerto Vallarta. So he was there with his partner and a couple other guys, and so they couldn't get out till actually they weren't able to fly out until yesterday. Actually, I was gonna send him a message and see if he got here.
Yeah.
But
so needless to say, there was no
yeah.
sew day.
Yeah, and they were lucky that, of course, because people couldn't get down there and they had cancellations, the hotel they were staying in was able to accommodate them for the other part of the week. I'm sure they weren't expecting the added expense, though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So I guess the hotel would be charging them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, now if he had travel insurance and stuff, I looked into that online, and depending on what kind of travel insurance you have, many of them say if it's not an act of war and it's not civil riot or something, that they will cover whatever additional charges you may have
Well,
for
also,
food and
it's
accommodation.
not something that was known when you were going down. Like, I
No.
mean, if you went down there, if you're flying down there this week or whatever, then your insurance may not cover
Yeah,
you for
that's
stuff
what it
because
said.
it's an ongoing
Situation.
risk,
Mhm.
right? But because you went down there and you had no idea that this might happen, you should still be covered.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know if they had travel insurance or not. I don't know what they
Mm.
had.
That's true. I mean, we always have travel insurance, but
Well, we do and you don't. We don't usually
For
have.
what? we always have it.
No, we don't. We have travel insurance for health, but I don't have cancellation insurance.
Well, what for flights? Don't we have a?
Well, we have a flight that we can cancel anytime
yeah.
and get our money back.
Well, that's cancellation insurance.
No, it's
of
not
the sort.
cancellation insurance.
Well.
It's just
Well, we have the assurance that if we have to cancel.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Picky.
a lot of people won't buy the
Semantics.
cancellation insurance because I mean there was one thing when we looked at booking a cruise lately, there was a $900 deposit that was non-refundable,
Mm.
right? And if we wanted to get cancellation insurance for that, it was $900.
So there was no advantage on that. So yeah, you got to check those things out. But yeah, the problems with having to when you're planning a trip. Sweet Granny's here. Hi, Sweet Granny. and Mary is here as well, and Rachel. Um, so yeah. Anyways, well, hopefully he got home okay and safe, but we didn't have a so day. And I when I told on Wednesday, I mentioned it to the group. One of the people says, "Well, you can have a so day then on Saturday." I was tempted, but no, didn't. I am having a so day, a pop-up so day, though, on March the 21st. I think that's when it will be right now. But there'll be more about that as we get closer to the date. But that'll be the next pop-up so day. So if you want to pencil that into your calendar, those of you that like coming to them, then please do. So other things I've been working on. I'm going to talk about this tomorrow on my morning coffee. But I got this idea. I want to make a dollhouse. I think I'm getting out of the idea now. I got the basic structure built. It's 3D printed. My idea was I would 3D print all the things that go in the dollhouse and do it that way. And then I've been watching this show on Netflix called Best in Miniature is what it's called. Best in Miniature. I always want to call it Make It Mini because the host on the show always says to them when there's competitions, she says, okay, make it mini, this kind of thing, which I think is actually a catchier title than the one they've got is Best in Miniature. But it's just fascinating watching this show and how they make these things. And they're not using 3D printers. They're doing this stuff from found materials, balsa wood, and they're making these tiny little things, and the detail is incredible. I mean, these are truly artists here that are doing this kind of stuff. My idea was, well, there's all kinds of miniature to scale. The scale that they usually use is 1 to 12, so 1 inch equals a foot, 12 inches. And there's all kinds of them on Maker World and other places where I get my models from. And I started downloading some of them. I started printing some furniture, and then I realized, oh, I need to do an interior design. Like they paint inside and stuff like that. Well, I don't have any paint. So I got some from Amazon to find out that it doesn't stick very well to the stuff that I'm making on the 3D printer. So that's no good. And I'm just getting a little frustrated with it. It's starting to give me anxiety, and I'm thinking, wait. This is supposed to be fun. Why am I putting myself through this? So now I've got a new idea. It won't be a dollhouse. It'll be a gnome house. And now I'm thinking beyond that. I'm thinking, well, what the heck? It'd be a nice little display unit for little miniature things or little small things that I print on the 3D printer. Dragons and things like that. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to do with it at this point. But the joy in it is becoming stressful, and then that's no fun anymore. So anyways, we'll talk more about that tomorrow, and I'll show you a few things too on morning coffee. I did buy though some accelerator glue or spray. This stuff I'm printing all my 3D things from. And right now I'm working on a new one from that Fluvo guy. It's a trolley. It looks really cute. But there's always pieces that have to be stuck together and glued. And you use super glue and another type of glue that's a type of super glue. And they take forever to dry. It's not that super. It's the nature of the plastic, this PLA that I use. So we went into the hobby shop that's not too far from us. I'd never been in there before. And we now know where nerds go. Oh my God. So many, and they were all guys. So many nerds in this one little space. They sell things like model kits for making remote control airplanes and cars, and then models that make ships and stuff like that. And they have your balsa wood, and they have all this other stuff there. And oh yeah, they're all a bunch of nerds. Anyways,
well, the shoe fits.
Yeah, right. So I was looking around. I just wanted to see what they had, and actually, they didn't have that much that was pertaining
really,
to
yeah,
to what I was doing.
attractive to what we were doing.
But they did have glues. And, there is a glue for gluing PLA together. It's called Gloop. Gloop. It's an American product, and it's almost impossible to get it here in Canada. It's very, very expensive for a very tiny amount, like something like $35 for a 4-ounce bottle of it, American. And then it's another $37, I looked into it, for American shipping to Canada, and whether you'd ever get it, given the situation on things right now and all that bit. So I asked the nerd behind the counter, I said, hello, nerd. I said, can you recommend a glue for PLA? And he says, oh yeah, there's different ones over there. The super glues. And I said, oh, okay. They were a little different brand than what I had. I said, okay, fine. I think I'll try one of those, I thought. Then I see that there's Accelerator. And I have read and seen this Accelerator stuff before. It's basically a spray, and you kind of use your super glue and give it a squirt of this Accelerator, and it dries really fast. It's supposed to. So I got a small bottle of it to try, and on the way home in the car, I'm smelling something. And it wasn't Walter. It was like, this smells kind of chemically in here. What's going on? I'm looking at the bottle, and nothing's leaking from it, but that's where the smell's coming from. So, of course, I did the first thing people usually do with a volatile, inflammable, combustible, carcinogenic spray, sniff it. Yeah. And go, whoa, I understand why the nerds like working in that store now. Ooh, they're all there snorting the glue. Yeah, so I have it, and I've put it all in a plastic bag that I wrapped around it several times and put rubber bands on it to keep the smell from it.
And it's sealed.
And it's sealed. Yeah, like, I don't get it. This stuff it's making me a little worried. I don't know if I'm ever going to use it or not, or just get rid of it. Wasn't cheap. Like, for this little tiny bottle, it was like $16, $17 plus tax, so almost 20 bucks Canadian for it. So I don't know if I really want to use this stuff or not. But yeah, what you go through to get things to stick. So let's see. Anybody else come in while we were talking?
Just arrived. Dana just came here.
Oh,
Just
there's
arrived,
Dana.
Snorting glue.
Yes, Dana. What you know all about that, Dana? Enough about your hobbies. Let's see. Barb says, can you glue craft paper to the wall so it look like paint or wallpaper? I did that. I had some of my scrapbook paper together. And yep, you can do it. And I did it. And I've torn it all off now. I don't know. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't really have a plan. Then I got thinking maybe I should make it retro, make it like 70s. So I looked up the colors from the 70s and what was that, my idea, wallpaper it and do this kind of stuff. Yeah, I lost interest with it. So yeah, I thought it was a good idea at the time. I was inspired by this television show, but that's as far as I've got with it. So now I've got this dollhouse, and I don't know what to do with it. Linda's here. Hi, Linda. And Barb says you might have to use it in a ventilated area or it will kill you. Yeah, it says that in the bottle. Use in a well-ventilated area. Yeah, it said. And also, apparently in California, it's carcinogenic. It may lead to cancer, it says. There's a lot of things I've seen that come from California.
Yeah, there's a lot of stickers on a lot of things that you buy that say that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And it's not just glue, so.
Yeah. Mary says, I remember my dad and brother making model airplanes with strong smelling glue. I liked it, haha. Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
Did you put it in a paper bag?
I made a few small models when I was a little kid. And yeah, we used that glue that smelled.
Yeah, the model glue. Yeah.
Actually, there were a couple of kids down the road that used to snort that stuff.
Yeah, well, I had a few students that used to snort it at lunch too, and back in those days. Then they started to snort whiteout, but not as effective as airplane glue or model glue. Yeah, so we continue the search for this kind of stuff. And I'm not good with glue. You know how you're not supposed to put your fingers together with super glue on them? Well, I had so much super glue on my fingers that on my computer, it has a touchpad that reads my fingerprint. It couldn't read my fingerprint because, and trying to get, so you're peeling it off and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm not good with glue. I'm very sticky. Okay, so yeah, that's the story of the dollhouse. I'll talk more about that one maybe tomorrow and show you a few pictures of things. So we've been cooking comfort food. What are you looking at?
Nothing.
Walter made lasagna. I can't remember the last time you made lasagna. And he made, how many pans did you make?
4. Well, 4 small ones.
Yeah.
It's enough for us for 2
months.
No. 1 pan is enough for 2 meals for us.
Yeah. And it was delicious. And we ate half a pan the other night and we're having the rest of it tonight. And you know what they say about lasagna, all that kind of stuff. It's always better the next day. So actually this will be 2 days because we didn't have that last night. And I decided I'd make a big crock pot full of chili. So I've done that and we have frozen it. And so we've got enough chili to last us until the nice weather comes. Comfort food.
A gnome habitat.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I get these crazy ideas sometimes and I just like right into it and then it goes right out the window. Rachel says, that's why they ask for ages before you buy glue in a lot of shops. My daughter was so embarrassed. She went to buy some for her work and got ID'd. She's 25. Yeah, actually, yeah, it says that when you, like online, if you try to order some of this stuff, if they'll ship it. Sometimes they won't ship it. They won't ship it like across the border or something like that too. But they ask you, they have a special thing comes up, you know, you have to be over 18 for this. Like as if people over 18 don't huff glue. Sometimes you do it by accident. But enough about that. Barb says she buys the Costco lasagna. I'm getting lazy.
It's okay, but
it's
I
okay, yeah.
don't really care for it that much. I mean, I prefer homemade, so.
Walter's very picky about his lasagna. See, I used to make lasagna, like there were a lot of things I used to make, but Walter decided.
But it was really dry, your lasagna.
You didn't like it because I made it with cottage cheese and not ricotta.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just that it was really
said.
dry. It's like there's no tomato sauce.
How could it be dry? Jeez. Yeah, he'll find something to bitch about my chili too. I know he will. Yeah.
No, the chili's fine.
Oh, is it? You haven't had any yet?
No, I know, but your chili's always good.
Oh yeah, too late now. Cozy up to me now, won't you? And Mary, she's been thinking about lasagna and chili as well. Glenna says seasonal gnome house. Yes, you could. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to do yet. But
well, your house is kind of big for miniature furniture. Your miniature furniture will get lost in it.
That's scale. That is a 1 to 12 scale house.
Oh, it looks kind of big to me.
Jesus.
No,
Mary
I like it with ricotta.
Says, Mary, I make it with cottage cheese. Oh, the other's too rich. Yeah, well, Walter likes it with ricotta. So, well, he's making it. I'll eat it. It's delicious. I love it. So fine. It's good. I make it the way my mother used to make it. And she made it with cottage cheese. So.
And my mother didn't make lasagna because my dad wouldn't eat pasta.
So there you are. Well, we're not trying to be funny.
My
Charlie.
dad said he wouldn't eat any kind of noodles. He said it was too slippery and too slimy.
Yeah, but your dad would only eat green beans as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
And what was his excuse on that? What with the other vegetables? Why didn't
he'd eat all kinds of vegetables, but green beans were a staple though. I mean, except for broccoli. Broccoli was an unknown for people from Holland.
Yeah, Rachel says maybe the nerd shop has got dollhouse furniture. Actually, they didn't. Not that one. But there are places. I'm not sure where we live whether there's any places, but I know in Toronto there's a couple of places that have been around for years and years, and they sell all kinds of. I looked them up online and looked at the prices. You can spend a small fortune on some dollhouse furniture, but that would take away from my idea was you make it. It looked like it was fun to do. Yeah, well, I just don't have the patience for that. Faith says, I use cottage cheese and ricotta in my lasagna. A combo. Yeah.
Mm.
And Cheryl agrees with Walter about the lasagna. Yeah.
I've made it with cottage cheese before, but I don't like it as much.
Fine. Be that way. Well, I prefer
Actually,
the
only
ricotta.
other time I made with cottage cheese, I've made it with pressed cottage cheese. You get it, it's more solid. It's like ricotta.
Oh. Okay, fine. Whatever. Mary says, here in the Midwest, we eat cinnamon rolls with chili. Cinnamon rolls with chili.
Hmm.
Well, cinnamon rolls are good with everything. But that is a first. I have never heard of that. Cinnamon rolls with chili. Do you like have the cinnamon roll on the side, or do you like have a cinnamon roll and you pour chili on top of it and eat it that way? That is I've never heard of that. That's really different. Okay, so anyways, we've got our comfort food. So speaking of food, we went out for brunch yesterday to a place not too far away from us called the Crepe Castle. We haven't been there in, geez,
A while.
before COVID.
No, we went there once a while back.
Did we?
Yeah.
And
But they're really busy in there.
yeah, we had to wait for a table for about 10 minutes or so. But it's not bad. Actually it's fairly good.
Yeah,
And,
like I mean, you can get anything from breakfast there to crepes,
yes,
chocolate crepes.
chocolate crepes. I almost did. I almost got what they called the Royal breakfast, which is a couple of eggs and bacon or ham, ham, home fries, and they have a crepe that has like chocolate and banana or something like that in it. Might have been Nutella, I'm not sure
Yeah.
which in it. Almost got that, but then I thought, no, hold back.
You can get savory crepes there too. I
Yeah.
didn't really look that carefully at it. They had avocado toast and everything. So
Yeah, well, we make our own avocado toast on occasion with it. Cornbread with chili is favorite. Mary says cinnamon rolls are on the side. Okay. This is a thing. Jen says she loves cinnamon rolls with chili too.
Mm.
I didn't ever heard of this. Cheryl says
cinnamon
can't
rolls
do...
with butter sound good.
Yeah, well, cinnamon rolls just period. Cheryl says can't do cottage cheese, goes against my Italian heritage. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it is better with ricotta. Yeah. It's a little richer. But yeah. Okay, so anyways, that we went for brunch and that was okay. And then I said to Walter, okay, so what was it? Was that on Friday you came home with, you were looking for Japanese cheesecake?
Yeah, so I came home with a frozen one.
So he came home with a frozen
The
one.
one from Loblaws. Don't get it.
Don't get it. It's horrible. It's horrible. We threw it out.
We ate half of it, threw the other
Threw
half
it
out.
out. So we went to the Village Bake Shop, which is in the town next door to us, kind of a thing. They're a Dutch bakery, and they have it there. And we've had it from them before, and it's better. In fact, the last time you went to try and get some, they were out.
Well, we went on Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're out of everything. All these people getting stuff for Valentine's Day. But anyways, they had some this time, so we came home with that, and it's delicious. Which makes me wonder, when we go to Japan.
Well, actually, I've been looking. I don't know if we've actually had an authentic Japanese cheesecake, but the one that we had that was frozen, I think, is closer to what authentic is.
It is?
Yeah, but I think it's supposed to be more cheesecakey tasting. The one that we had tasted just like cake.
Yeah, it was more like
Yeah.
a cake. It wasn't like a cheesecake. So I just always wonder, they put names on these things and it's exotic. Ooh, Japanese cheesecake. You get over there and you look at them. Can I have some Japanese cheesecake? And
I
they
don't
look at
think
you
the
funny.
stuff that the Dutch bakery have is really authentic.
So how do you know? What is authentic then?
Well, There's
about that?
recipes. There's recipes online
Oh,
that
yeah?
you can make it. Should try and make it.
Yeah, you should try to make it. Yeah, sure. Um, Kim says, okay, I'm Missouri. We had cornbread. Kim, are you from
Cornbread with chili.
Yeah. So, but Kim, I thought, I didn't know are you from Missouri? Are you an American? I thought, I didn't know about your background. Charlie says, as a kid, we used celery sticks and carrot sticks, and chili was the dip. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess you could. I mean, I'll make nachos using the chili. In fact, we did that the other night because I had a little bit that I was too little for us to have a meal out of, so I made nachos with it. Chicago, Jen says Chicago here introduced to cinnamon rolls and chili in school. It's a thing. Everybody has. It's got to be an American thing because I have never ever in my life ever heard of that combination here in Canada.
No.
Now I want to try it.
No.
Okay, let me know on the cinnamon rolls. Does that include the icing too with it? Like, this mystifies me. How you okay, you got chili. So is this dessert? The cinnamon rolls? Okay, I can see that. We're having for dinner chili and for dessert cinnamon rolls. Do you dunk them? I don't know. Rachel says, I used to like something called Alabama soft rock pie. Delicious. I did watch a guy on Cooking Channel who was from that area. He'd never heard of it. Okay. So what's in an Alabama soft rock pie? Adam's here. Hi, Adam. Thank you, Dan. Adam.
Icing, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So Kim says we keep it on the down low. Kim. Oh.
No, she said. Oh yeah, she
Missouri.
did. The cornbread. Yeah.
Yeah. She's American. Oh. How did you get in?
Pat
icing
Jennings
definitely.
Says, I've never heard of cinnamon rolls with chili. Pat Jennings.
Okay, Pat's never heard of it, and she's in the South, so I don't know. Adam says, I just like cake. Sue me. Okay. See, I'm not a big cake person. No. I like pie. Pie is my favorite food group. Yeah. And Jen says, of course it has icing. You eat it to cool down the spiciness. Give it a try. Okay. Now we got to make cinnamon rolls to try that. Glenn says, yes, I'm Missouri also. Cornbread, never heard of cinnamon rolls with chili. Sounds amazing. You people eat funny. But I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, there's something new to try right up there. Okay, so saw Walter's quilting. So let's turn to meanwhile in Canada. We'll get a little serious for a minute. So our prime minister's out making trade deals with India and China, and from what I heard on some of the things I watched today, sounds like he's doing pretty good. He may have a deal with India for about a 2-point-something billion thing. Well, they want some of our oil for one thing, and anything to relate it with energy. But apparently
I think uranium too.
And uranium, yeah, they want to glow in the dark, yeah. Yeah, Carney's doing a good job. He's out there diversifying our portfolio. So that's a good thing. And then we've got our opposition leader, Polyev. He's got a new tune going on. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, but he's been supporting the prime minister on many of these initiatives. United front, basically, which is what we have to have, and a united front against you-know-who, kind of a thing.
But he's also said, well, he didn't feel an election was due right now because, because he'll lose. He'll lose,
yeah. That's why he doesn't trying to push through a non-confidence vote for the government. So, yeah, he's not.
Sue, I've heard of cornbread and chili, although I'm not that fond of cornbread either. So,
yeah. Also crackers sometimes, and peanut butter sandwiches.
Okay, I haven't heard of that.
Crackers, yes. Some peanut butter sandwiches.
Peanut butter and banana.
And chili?
No. Peanut butter goes with banana, but not with chili.
Well, I don't know. We've never had it with chili. I'm not sure. Pat says sometimes I like with of sour cream served on top dollop of PM.
Sometimes.
Let us analyze this sentence. Sometimes I think should be it with a dollop of sour cream served on top. Okay. I have had it that way before too. Yes. Rachel says I like cornbread but not the sweet version. Oh,
I didn't know.
I didn't know there was
too.
a non-sweet version. Yeah, Pat says, yeah, dollop of sour cream. Okay, got it now. Am says maybe with chili peanut butter would be like satay sauce.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I've never really liked the peanut butter satay sauce, but
Oh, I do. But we never have it because somebody doesn't like it. So yeah.
well, you can have it.
Oh yeah. What are you having?
I don't know, something else.
Maybe some of your canned tuna in oil,
Maybe.
dark meat, or some of your sardines. No. Artist says differently cornbread with chili, maybe with crackers, a splash of vinegar and cheese. Vinegar? Cheese,
Yeah, I
yeah,
could see
cheese.
that.
I could see what vinegar on chili.
Yeah, I could see that. People like that sometimes.
I didn't know there were so many different ways to eat chili. Seuss's elementary school in St. Louis almost always gives us a half of peanut butter sandwich with chili. Okay.
Not in Canada. They don't allow
Nope.
that.
Never heard that. And
No
Inez
peanut
says, like, Inez confirms here because she's Canadian. Never heard of cinnamon rolls with chili. Nope.
No.
Now Rachel says it's making her hungry. Too late for me for food now. And Charlie says sometimes I add a cup of shredded cheddar cheese. Oh yeah, I do that.
Shredded
Yeah,
cheese,
yeah. Green chili cornbread is very good.
That sounds okay.
Yeah, that sounds all right. Might like that.
I don't like the sweet cornbread.
Well, the only time I've really ever had the sweet cornbread is when we've been to this Melanie's, which is a local diner style
I
restaurant.
mean, you don't see cornbread very often in Canada.
Adam says Steven's retching makes me howl. Oh, okay. Glad that you're into other people's pain, Adam. That's good. Sue says sweet cornbread is my husband's favorite. Made some this weekend. Okay, tell me, is cornbread supposed to all fall apart when you try to pick it up? Because any cornbread I've ever had, that's one thing I don't like about cornbread. It just disintegrates. Now, maybe I haven't had it made properly. I've never made cornbread myself.
Well, actually, I'm not that fond of the taste of it. But anyway, so
I don't mind it. But it's all very crumbly. It all falls right apart. Carol says, my high school cafeteria put chili on mashed potatoes. It was gross.
oh, that's all right. I'd have that.
Oh, Walter'd eat that. Yeah. Because they do something and he likes to make mashed potatoes and then take stuff on his plate.
I
and
like
mash it
spinach,
into it.
taking spinach and mashing it in with my potatoes.
And other things, because that's called stomppok, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the
Stomppok.
Dutch thing. Do you mix your vegetables with your potatoes and mush them all together
Artist says jalapeno
and add
cornbread.
gravy to it?
Yeah, it looks like a dog's breakfast. Rachel says, when I made it, it didn't fall apart, but I'm a rubbish cook. And Sue says, my cornbread is very moist and tasty. Because the stuff I've had,
And that brings all the boys to the yard.
my cornbread brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than your cornbread. I could show you, but I'd have to charge you. Ab says, the stuff we had in Phoenix didn't fall into a million pieces. Darren likes any dinner that could pass as dog meat. Okay. Glad that he's not too picky about it. Well, it's something over in Holland. You can order it like in restaurants. This stump pot, wasn't it?
So
called
yeah,
stump?
it's stumpa. They actually traditionally it's kale with potatoes mashed together with gravy, or it's cooked kale. I meant not raw kale. And the other one is carrots and onions mashed with potatoes. So my mom never made it with carrots and onions.
Barb says her food has to be all separate, just like when I was a kid, nothing touching. I was like that.
Oh, and beets. Hot Harvard beets mashed with potatoes and gravy.
No, oh God, no! Those canned Harvard beets. Oh, those
Yum
were-
yum.
My mother loved
It's
those,
yum yum.
and she was a bitch with them too, because she'd put mashed potatoes on your
Mashed
plate,
pota-
and I'd say I don't want any beets. And she said, well, you're gonna have them because they're yum yum, and she'd throw them on my plate, and she purposely put them right next to my mashed potatoes, and all that purple stuff would ooze into the
Yeah.
potatoes.
Mashed potatoes
Gross.
with cabbage is an Irish dish that's called colcannon.
Oh, I've had that. That's
Yeah,
okay. I
that's-
don't mind
yeah.
that. That's all right. Because I like cabbage. Kim says cornbread crumpled in a glass of milk. Ew. That would be
That's gross.
that would be ooh.
Ugh, that's gross.
That's just it's the texture thing. It wouldn't be the
It's
taste,
like
it'd be
soggy
the
bread.
texture. Yeah. Yeah. Adam says, I'm with you, Barb. Unless it's something cooked in a sauce, then I like to mix my preferences per mouthful.
Hey, Steve, cornbread in milk is corn souffle.
Oh no, don't bring that. My mother used to make this. She called it corn souffle. It was vomit in a bowl. I mean, it was, you know what cream corn is. I like cream corn, but this wasn't anything like cream corn. It kind of looked like it, but
It'll kind of look like corn swimming in milk.
yeah, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. But my mother loved it. It was yum yum. Yeah, no, only to my mother. Cream corn over potatoes. Well, that wouldn't be too bad, I guess. I like cream corn. Walter doesn't like cream corn. In fact, we had a
Good,
can of
yeah.
cream corn in the cupboard. We just threw out because
It's been in there too long.
What year was it?
It's been a while.
2018.
It was like 2017.
I thought it was even older than that. But anyways, did you open it?
I opened it was all brown inside.
Ooh, oh, that was like my mother's corn souffle.
Yeah.
Pam says that would be like porridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Barb doesn't do cream corn. A lot of people don't. I love cream corn. Walter doesn't like cream corn,
I'm not fond of it.
but I do
Kind of
love it.
slimy.
Not as slimy as my mother's corn souffle.
That's for sure.
That was that, or her chowder, which was a potato chowder. Oh, that was gross too. I hated that. But for my mother, it was yum yum. Yeah. So, anyways, and I don't know if we're doing it yet or not, but there was talk that we'd be sending aid to Cuba.
Oh, you mean Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. That ought to piss off Trump
Yeah.
if we do. So I don't know. All about pissing him off. Might as well. So, anyways, we were talking. We're going to talk today a little bit about what we have discovered in our travels when it comes to quilt stores. Is there a difference between, U.S., Canada, and European ones? And yes, there is. And I'm glad Adam is here because he can say comment on some of the things in England. But I found with the help of AI, just basic difference about it, but we'll talk more from our experience with it. So it says quilt stores across Canada and the USA and Europe differ significantly in their market size, product focus, and pricing, driven by regional traditions and logistics. While the US market is a massive global hub for quilting specific supplies, European stores often integrate quilting into a broader apparel sewing culture. Yeah, well, you go down to the States, there's tons of quilt stores in the States.
And they're large.
And they're
inside.
large.
For the ones that we've been in anyway.
Yeah.
Are usually quite big compared to what we're used to in Canada.
And the only reason I miss not going down to the States right now is just for the fact that you can go to big quilt stores down there. But over in Europe, it says more garment. We found that when we were in Amsterdam.
Well, we were in Holland. They were far and few between. It was very hard to find one. And when you did find one, they were really tiny inside.
Yep. And most of the stuff anyways was stuff that we could get here.
Yeah.
Which is not surprising.
I mean, there was some German fabric and some Dutch fabric, but it's not very prevalent.
No, and it's expensive. Even though, our quilting cottons here in Canada and the United States, we consider have gone up quite a bit in the years.
I mean, we pay a fair for our quilting cotton in Canada, but a lot of our products come from the U.S. So
Yeah, so we're used to that. Now, when we were in Australia, quilt stores were not easy to find there either.
we did find one. I can't remember where we were. I think we were in Brisbane.
That was Brisbane.
And it was Sydney.
Was
we
it
were in Sydney, and
Oh, yeah.
we found one, and it was almost difficult to find. And
Yeah.
when we did find it, it was a little tiny house that had lots of fabric
But
packed in it.
they had quite a lot of fabric
Yeah.
in there, and I wanted Aboriginal, fabric, Australian Aboriginal, and they did have a good selection of that.
And
Price-wise, it
it
was
pretty high.
Yeah,
It was around almost close to, it was 25, 26
at that time. It was,
Australian dollars.
which is
for-
about, can they say, was Canadian
Yeah.
at the time.
For a meter of fabric.
Yeah.
I think they sold by the meter, or did they sell by the yard?
No, I think they sold by the meter. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure by the meter. But we're kind of spoiled in North America
Yeah.
with the access we have. And I know I've heard some of the people who come on here from Australia, like Philippa, many of you will know who Philippa is. She says it's so difficult to get, like, if they order online from North America, it takes forever to come to Australia, of course, and the shipping is astronomical with it. So I guess we're kind of lucky here. But of course, in Europe, they tend to lean more towards garment fabrics. Like when we went to Liberty of London in London, I was a little disappointed in the selection. Because I had always heard or thought, I got the impression that there would be quite the choice. Well, yeah, there is, but it's really not for quilting. It's more for garments, and I just wasn't that fond of the patterning on it because they do a lot of, tiny flowers and things like that. Old lady fabric.
Adam says we literally have none, only online. There's one 20 miles away, and they are incredibly rude, so may as well not be there.
Oh,
Is it because you're a male, or is it
Yeah.
just that they're incredibly rude to everybody?
yeah. Yeah, well, Liberty of London I found was very disappointing and expensive too, to say the least. And we did go to, did we find another place in, no, we walked this, no, we didn't find another one when we were over in England, did we? I mean,
we didn't look that carefully. I think
No.
we were getting because we had limited storage
Yeah,
in
we
our
weren't-
suitcases, so we didn't. We tried to look for a place, but we couldn't find too many.
no, we couldn't find too many with it. So, yeah, if you want,
And the thing is I wouldn't buy anything that I could get here.
No, well, that's the other thing. There's no point in lugging home stuff that we can get here. Plus, the price was more there.
Well,
than
actually,
here.
when we were at the show at Birmingham,
Yeah.
I noticed that I looked at some fabrics that we could get here, and the prices weren't that much different than what we would pay for here. Now, mind you, that may have been discounted because of the quilt show.
Well, it might have been. I don't know. Adam says, I don't understand why so many quilt shops aren't that welcoming to customers. It's bizarre. Liberty has no idea with the retail space in London. Their Tana lawn to garment.
So
Okay, it's bizarre. Liberty has no idea with their retail space in London. Their Tana lawn to a garment in Sois. Oh, you mean like they're basically catering to people who make clothes. To garment. Yeah, I noticed that about that place as well. And Liberty of London is a bit posh. And I don't mean that necessarily in a favorable way. They're a little snooty, I found, in there. So, yeah. Adam says, even though majority of sales is by quilters. Inez likes everything mashed together. Well, you get to an age, Inez,
well,
or soft
that
food
might
is
also be a Newfoundland thing.
Well, it might be.
Newfoundland thing, I think, has a lot of European traditions. So
Charlotte says there are lots of quilt stores fairly close to me, but the pricing is so much better online. We called Pap. It's tea with crackers in a cup.
pup is something.
A small dog.
No, it's like porridge.
Oh, well, there was a comment earlier about that sound like porridge. So
Yeah, when we called when I was Dutch word for pup is porridge. So
oh, okay. So there you go. Crackers in a cup. Well, let's add some vegetables in a soup.
my mother used to get a Dutch rusk and put it in tea and put butter and sugar on top, and you would eat that as a kid.
In tea.
It was good for your stomach.
Oh, that's what they told you. Yeah. Okay.
It's kind of mushy.
Yeah.
I don't think I would eat it today.
No. Am's Liberty is high end. Quilters favor the lawn over their quilting cotton, yet they don't retail the lawn to quilters in a store at all. No, it's true. Lawn's got a very nice feel to it.
It's very silky.
It's very silky. Who was it? Was it Lydia that made her quilt out of lawn?
No, I thought she made it linen.
Oh, it was linen. Linen she was doing. Is lawn not a form of linen?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Linen is like it's a very finely woven cotton.
No. Okay, fine. So I learned something new today. Yay. But yeah, it's hard to, like, when you go traveling, like, what's her name? Karen Brown from Just Get It Done Quilt. She runs these tours over in Europe for quilters and stuff like that. And they supposedly go to different shops and whatnot. But if you look at her videos about them, what they're going to is places that are textile fabrics that make fabric. Now when she does the ones where she goes to like the Far East and that, it's batiks. And you see that. Now that's different. I love batiks. But it's just that it doesn't seem like you can the selection is really more North American centric with it.
Yeah, actually, linen is not made from cotton. It's made from flax.
Oh, okay, fine. What's flax?
Flax is
okay, I know. Yeah. It's a seed. You put it in bread. It gets caught between
it's
my
sort
teeth.
of a reed or what. Anyway.
Rachel says, my sister-in-law lives in London. She says best places she finds to get fabric from are the African shops. African fabrics. Yeah. African fabrics are really very quite nice. But I got some African fabric at a quilt show a few years ago. And you might have remembered it was a place that's actually located here in Ontario, and she imports it in. And it's nice fabric, but you have to wash it before you work with it. It is really full of a lot of sizing, and it shrinks. And it shrinks considerably. At least that I bought. Now, maybe that's not true about everything that's in African fabric. Charlie's never heard of lawn.
Yeah, actually, you can buy cotton lawn. It's Liberty of London that sells it, but then there's also an American manufacturer that will sell it as well. Because I have some cotton lawn from American manufacturer, and I was just looking up I can't remember the name of the manufacturer that's American that has it. They have a line of lawn as well. I don't know if they still have it, but I can't remember the name of it.
It tends to be a little pricier though than
it is
quilting
pricey.
cotton. So
the stuff that I was looking at that was from the American manufacturer was selling for about 30 US a yard or something like that.
Yeah, well, the stuff at Liberty was pricey too to get that. Sue says there's a big difference in quilt shops from community to community here in Missouri. Each owner has his or her own vibe, some good and some really bad. Well, I guess that's like any retail store too, We've had our experience with people, with shop owners or people working in a shop being somewhat bitchy.
Yeah, Kaufman has a line of cotton lawn. That's the stuff that I've got.
Oh, Barb says, is African fabric waxy? Yes, it can be.
Yeah.
That's why you need to wash it before you use it. And I can tell you, at least the stuff that I had, when you wash it, it comes out in a big ball and it frays like crazy. So then you've got to press it before you can start to cut it and use it in anything. And I don't know. I kind of stay away from it. I have a bunch of it. Because I bought a couple of kits at this show that had the fabric in it. And recently I pulled out one of those kits and decided I'm not going to do the pattern that was in there. But I thought of using it in some other project. And I washed it and I ironed it all and everything, and it's ready to go whenever I decide that I want to use it.
Liberty has a line of quilting cotton. I mean, they did, unless they were getting rid of it all at the Liberty Fabric when we were there last year.
Oh, yeah.
They had some quilting cotton that wasn't cotton lawn. They had cotton lawn was in a separate section.
Yeah, it was in a separate section. But really, the selection as a quilter, I did not find anything that got me really too excited.
There was a lot of small floral prints.
Yeah. And it's not my style. Now, if that's your style, you might be more overjoyed with it. Just, bring your checkbook. Have lots of money. Inez says, I just watched Quilting with Rachel and she came back from Holland. She had beautiful fabrics. I wonder where she went.
Yeah.
For that.
Maybe not at the areas. Well, we went to that quilt market where, that fabric market.
The fabric market.
But the problem is that we didn't really see anything that was unique that we couldn't get here.
No, yeah, that was the one problem with that. Rachel says, I will find out. She's going to bring me some up soon. Adam says, Kaif's fabric is cotton lawn.
The stuff that they sell here is not cotton lawn. No. It is sold by Free Spirit Fabrics, and it's not cotton lawn here. No,
it's definitely not cotton lawn. I mean, I used to be a great fan of Cape. That's how, when I first got into quilting, I think the first fabrics I saw that drew me in was Caif.
Because, I mean, if it was cotton lawn, it'd be a lot more expensive than what we are charged for here.
And it doesn't feel like...
No.
The stuff I've got some here somewhere. Yeah. It doesn't feel like lawn. Carol says, Riley Blake makes Liberty prints, but the base fabric is not lawn. It's ordinary quilting base fabric. Oh, okay. African fabric is heavier, close to batik fabric for feel. Yeah, that's true. Is lawn difficult to sew? I've never sewn with it. Have you?
I haven't yet. I've got
Adam would know.
It's a finer weave, so it may be a bit slipperier too.
Adam says Caif is launching a garment lawn range this fall. I believe maybe a different time in the year. And Liberty do cotton lawn, quilting cotton, Piccadilly poplin cotton, and various silks, etc. Yeah. Oh yeah, they have a lot of
they had silk.
Yeah, they had lots of different fabrics in there. No, Adam says, no, lawn is lovely to sew. Rachel says, maybe you'll find some unique material in Japan. Well, I found a place here in Canada, in Ontario, actually. I think it was Ontario, might not, online that sells Japanese fabrics. And I was going to order some, but I haven't got around to it yet because I don't really know I don't have a specific pattern that I want to use it. It's a little bit, well, it wasn't bad price-wise. Considering. So yeah, I will take a look when we're in Japan, of course, to see what they have. Barb says there are very few dedicated quilt stores in England, but we do also have fabrics on Sewing TV channels. Speaking of which, good luck, Adam, at Sewing Street TV on Tuesday. Cotton lawn isn't massively more expensive. Liberty just put a huge markup on it. You can get cotton lawn for around 10 pounds
per meter.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
When we were in Liberty, it was like 30 pounds.
Yeah, it was something. But that makes sense. I mean, Liberty of London is a destination point, for people who sew or that are into fabric. So they're going to get you. Mary says you could serge the pieces before you wash it. Yes, you can. In fact, I didn't bother, but I saw something that recommended you do that with it, but I didn't bother because I had quite a bit of it. And, you know,
Actually,
I
the
love
stuff
fat quarters.
we used, I made that quilt out of it,
Yeah.
right? And it didn't really ravel.
But did you wash it first?
I washed it a lot.
Oh, the
first,
stuff
yeah.
that I did, it
Oh,
stringy city.
It didn't come apart that bad.
Oh, okay. I mean, it was different than what I got. But anyways, yeah. So the differences across the world, we live in the best part of the world, hemisphere-wise, in when it comes to quilting, because of what you can get here. And it's, you know, even though it is expensive, it's still readily available online or in stores. And in the States, you have tons of stores. We have quite a few stores
Here,
online here in Canada, but everything's really far apart.
yeah. Well, we used to have a few more stores in our locality, but right now there's really only one, and there's a couple within driving distance, within a reasonable half-hour distance that we can get to, that sell quilt material. Otherwise, we can order it online.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah. I guess when we get to Japan, we will check around and see what is there to have. I mean, we saw some things on YouTube about certain stores in Tokyo and that have fabric, lots of fabric. I mean, they're not a quilting store. They have quilting cottons, but they have all kinds of other fabrics. And then you have to figure out like what the prices are.
Well, not only that, we have to figure out what we're willing to lug.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, because we're traveling light.
We travel light.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. I mean, it'll have to be something very, very unique and something there's definitely no way I could get it over here that, you know, that grabs my attention.
I mean, we have lots of availability. We can take 2 pieces of check luggage each, but we have a very small bag that we take with us.
Yeah, we have our backpacks. So, you know, that we took to Holland. Anyway, something I wanted to bring up because this came from a comment from somebody, and maybe I'm taking it a little too seriously, but a person, I'm not going to name them, but wrote this twice, both to the videos that we did of Walter working with Lucey. And it said, and this is kind of a comment that I have seen from a few other viewers as well. We want to set I want to set things straight, okay, about this. So this was the comment. Walter, do it your way. You will figure it out. Stephen tends to overthink and make it more complicated than it needs to be. And also this same person in another comment, don't listen to Stephen. You do whatever you want to do. Well, the thing is, I was showing Walter how to set up the machine because he didn't know how to. And I was explaining all of that stuff. And this is kind of a microcosm of something that's a little larger issue. And the issue is that people think that I dominate Walter. And I don't. But I wrote back, you may be right, but you could be a little kinder with your remarks about me. This goes beyond this comment here. But it was like, you're being such a bitch to him, kind of thing. That's the way I interpret it. Maybe this person didn't mean it that way, but say what you mean. Words you have to be careful with, especially around an ex-English teacher. So Walter tried to set the situation straight. He put, thanks for the advice, but Steve does not control what I do. I do look for him for advice on how to load the quilt, as he has done this many times. Steve and I have strengths in different areas, and we both collaborate and use those strengths together. Steve is more of a public speaker than I am, and that is why he runs this channel. I joined as a sidekick. I would not have started a channel on my own, but he did. I do have strong decision-making skills and always do my own thing. Stephen's more free-thinking than I am and tend to be the one that overthinks things, and I tend to be, meaning Walter, to be the one that overthinks things, not Stephen. So do not read too much into what's happening on the channel. No one controls me, not even Stephen. Yeah, even if I want to control him, and I don't, I wouldn't be able to. But we are our own people here. And I am just...
We just have different personalities, so.
I'm just sick and tired of the comments people make that, oh, Walter, you're so patient with Stephen. Oh, Walter, how do you live with him? Oh, Walter. Now, some of those are done for comedy reasons. They're just being funny, and I get that, but some are not. And I'm going to say something sounding very sexist right now. Every one of those comments that have ever been that way have always come from women. And I tried to make a point of telling you this. Okay? First of all, people try to assign us roles. Because we're gay, who's the man and who's the woman? Who does the men's things? Who does the women's thing? Don't work that way. We both have our strengths, as Walter said in that comment. We play to our strengths. But we don't have roles. Like, and some try to be really coy and say, who does the cooking? Who does the laundry?
Actually, we both do the laundry and we both do the cooking.
Yeah.
So.
And that kind of stuff. Trying to
like
assign
he makes
roles.
chili, I make lasagna. So
Now, I do understand that when you're not part of the gay community, that you may not understand how it works. But it works very much the way as it works in any society. We've all played to our strengths. A good marriage is one where both partners play to their strengths. It doesn't matter who's the man or who the woman is. You know, men today will stay at home, be stay-at-home dads, while their wives, who have maybe a career that's different from theirs, goes back to work. It works, you know, for them. So I really take exception to people who try to pigeonhole us into these stereotypical old-fashioned roles, because we don't live those old-fashioned roles like that. Also, Walter is not a public speaker. That's what he said. You know how long it took me to get him to the point where he is now on here with the lives?
I didn't want to get on here.
He
for
didn't
a
want to
long
do
time.
it.
And the amount. I mean, I'm fairly comfortable now when I'm on here, but I still don't take the lead for speaking. So
yeah. This is my channel. I started it. I brought Walter into it years later with it. Now we kind of share the responsibility. Well, I do most of the planning of it. And oftentimes he sits down here and goes, so what are we talking about today? I tell him. But we consult, especially for things like So Chatty and for this live. Because we're both in this together. My own coffee, morning coffee, and the Idiot Quilter, they're kind of my thing with that. So, you know, I don't really bounce ideas off him for that because he's not really as involved in that. But the So Chatty in this, yes, for that kind of thing. But it's hurtful because what people are saying here is you're a bitch. And I can be if you cross me. I refuse, and those of you who've been here for a while, is if somebody says something in the comments, be very careful what you say. Because I will bring it up. Yeah. And the only reason I'm not calling out the person who wrote that comment, or those two comments, I didn't read the first one they had written, is because I'm thinking that maybe I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that they didn't mean it the way it came out, that they were trying to be funny. Okay? But it's hurtful, for one thing, with it. I know there are people, when you're a content creator, you open yourself up to a whole world of hurt. Okay? Because you're putting yourself out there. And people who sit behind their computers feel it is their right, their privilege, and no one's ever going to know who they are to say whatever they want to say. And that is fine. You go ahead. You say whatever you want to say. Everybody has an opinion. They're like assholes. Everybody has one. Okay? But if you put it in writing and it's in my comment section, there is a chance that I am going to bring it up as well. So just a little word of advice there for some of you who might feel that you should be computer warriors or whatever they call it. Charlie says, why can't people mind their own business?
Scroll back down a bit.
What?
There's a couple of comments I want to say.
Oh, where?
Scott says,
oh,
there's this is off topic. There's a quilting themed Alaskan cruise this summer. Who would want to be on a quilting cruise while missing Alaska scenery? From what I heard, that after 10 minutes you get bored of Alaskan scenery.
yeah. I have no desire.
I have any desire
to go on an
Alaskan
Alaskan
cruise.
one. I mean, we have seen glaciers before out in BC. We've seen that. We've seen wilderness. We're Canadian, for God's sakes. Maybe if you're not. Maybe if you're from someplace, really far south, something like that. Yeah, it would probably be spectacular. But for us, no.
No. One of the ladies I worked with went on a 2-week one, and one that went all the way to Alaska and all the way back to Vancouver. And she said, 1 week's enough.
Yeah.
She said 1 week's more than enough.
The other thing too is, and I don't want to open this this whole discussion up on this right now at this point. We've had this discussion before, but my idea of boredom would be to go on a quilting cruise. They are double the price. You don't quilt. You only quilt on sea days, for that matter. The boat itself, the ship itself, is a destination because there's so much to keep you amused on a cruise. We know, we've been on 11 cruises in our life.
And they have activities on cruise days, so that on sea days, so that you might not want to miss those.
Yeah.
And end up going quilting.
The only reason quilting quilt stores or whatever or organizations offer quilting cruises is it's a money maker for them. That's the only reason for it, and they make it sound like it's glorious.
Yeah.
And the whole bit. And I don't know. I
mean, personally, no matter what cruise you're on, I think even if it's Alaskan cruise and it's boring, I think there's lots enough to do on the ship that I don't really want to do go to a quilt thing. As it is, cruises that I've been on, and I was used to exercising a lot, I can't even get into the gym. So, meaning that I'm not motivated to go to the gym, sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, why would you want to be in a gym on a cruise?
Dubrovka says, do you still have Fabricland in Oshawa? I said, no.
Nope.
We had a store in Oshawa and we had a store in Whippy, and they have both closed. And I think there was a store in Markham that closed. And I don't know. I think there's still one in Pickering. But the one that closed in Whippy, I'm not surprised because the staff were rude to everybody.
Oh yeah, they were something else.
I thought at first because it was men, but then I found out all the ladies I know said, "Oh, I hate them in there. They're rude."
Yep.
And they've been closing all that stuff. Fabricville is the online version of Fabricland. Fabricland is originally from Quebec.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say they're originally from Quebec. What was it? Rachel said, only problem is with buying online for me is I'm not sure what types of materials are, so I have to feel them so I can see if I like them. Certain material I can't stand the feel of. Yeah, when it comes to quilting cotton, though, I have found that as long as you go with somebody like, O'Reilly Blake or, Kaufman or something like that, whatever, you're usually okay. But, yeah, if you're not sure.
I mean, if you're buying garment fabric, you can make a certain amount of judgment by the weight of the fabric, and if you're buying from a quality company, you can get an idea, and some of these companies are willing to send you swatches of the fabric to give you an idea of what it's like.
Yeah. Rachel says, sounds like normal relationship to me. People who make comments about gender roles clearly live in 1840. Yeah, true. Cheryl says, I love watching both of you interact. That's part of the charm. And we have charm. Rachel says, my friend had a shirt made that says, you'll call me a bitch like that's a bad thing. I like that. Joanna says, I made the money. He does the cooking. He does the snow and yard stuff. There are no traditional roles anymore, or shouldn't be. You're so right, Joanna. It's simple. When you've been together for 37 plus years, you know each other inside and out. Mr. Steven, I love hearing the banter back and forth. Oh, and you're not a bitch. You're a badass. Oh, I like that better. I do like that better, Debbie. Charlotte says she saw those comments and she thought they were rude, so it wasn't just in my head. Okay, good to know. Gloria says, I wasn't aware that household chores were assigned a gender. Yeah,
the old school.
The old school
still
were,
think that.
women does the cooking and the laundry, the man does the
I mean, I
yard
worked
work.
with a lady that her husband, she had, when they had kids, he decided to quit and raise the kids. So
yeah. Cheryl says she checked out a class on one of our cruises. Would never want to be in a class while cruising. Interferes with drinking and eating too much. Exactly. Yeah. And Mary says, darn, we got a delivery and I missed something. Too late now. You'll have to watch the replay. No. But anyways, yeah, we kind of went all over the place today on this. But yeah, such is life, eh? So anyways, thanks for joining us today. I think that's it. It's time to let you all go. Check out my morning. Have coffee with me tomorrow morning. And we'll talk about some things then. And yeah, if you've got suggestions again for things you'd like to see, especially on So Chatty, then let us know. Because I don't know what we're doing next week. Because unless Walter suddenly becomes an excellent free motion quilter and, in less than a week's time. I'll just video it and there you go. It'll be a miracle. It will be. More mystery. So, okay, everybody.
all right.
Have a good rest of the day today and have a good week, and we'll see you all later. Bye for now.
Bye for now.